Hello everyone, Corrine here from Corrine's Crafts. I hope you are well and thank you once again for coming over and watching my YouTube channel. I'm loving it that you are all enjoying the videos so very much. Now today's video is a little bit different. It's a little bit of a fun card tonight. I have made a card using elements from Lou Collins' Textures collection in the Deep. But what I wanted to show you is, can you see? I have embossed the acetate to make my shaker, which I think is really good fun. We've done some inking, some stenciling, as you know I like to do. We've made this shaker. We've done some die cutting. We've done some mats and layering. Lots of things that you know I do on my videos, but I brought them all together for a little bit of fun tonight. I think it's really good fun. Let's see how it's made. So this has been a really fun card to put together. I've really enjoyed this. It's been really good fun. So I've had this for ages. I had the deep blue stamp set from Lou Collins from her textures range. She also sent me the Wildflowers paper pack. So I know it's not really the same collection, but I still love it anyway. And also I've got from the deep blue, the Layering Sea Creatures die set. Sorry, that one was Sea and Sentiments. So there we go. So that's 2 from the deep blue and 1 from the Wildflowers. But I thought I could put these together. But I thought also I'd give you, I'd show you that we can, about embossing, because I keep saying it. I think embossing folders are probably one of our most underutilised products that we have. So I thought I could mix this, especially with the one with the waves. I thought that would go really well. So I'll show you what I'm going to do first. Okay, so let me start with the front bit. For the front of my card, so first of all, I've cut myself a circle into a piece of white card, just using a regular die. You can see that. I don't need this piece anymore, but I've also used this die to cut one ring of blue. Well, it's officially called sea green. So you can see it's made a frame just by cutting the 2 of those together. It's created a lovely frame. And that in a minute is going to go on there. I just like it. I think it's a bit neater. You could just have your aperture like that, but I think it makes such a difference creating a neater aperture. So I thought, can I go clean and simple, or do I need a little bit more? You know me, I needed a little bit more. So back to my bubbles stencil. That's a stencil, that's what that is. And you can see these 2 inks that I've got on here. So they're from Frosty and Bright, and they're just water reactive, but I've got Frosted Sea Glass and Polar Bear. So you can see straight away they've got that sort of watery theme. So yeah, really good. So pick up a little bit of green using my Time for Tea blending brushes, and I'm going to go over this. And actually, I haven't cleaned my stencil. I'm a bit naughty, and I can see a bit of pink on it. But do you know what? I think that will actually work, because the piece of cardstock that I'm going to use from Lou's collection is this one. So it's got lots of different colours on. So I don't think it'll hurt at all. So I'm going on with the green, just blend it out to the edge. Then I'm going to pick up the blue, pick up a little bit of blue and come round to this end. So I'm sort of naturally fading from green to blue. I've maybe gone a bit harder than I wanted, but look at that. Doesn't that look amazing? I love how it just ombres over. So we're same as the cardstock, really. We're going to come down here. I don't want it in a perfect straight line, so I just thought I'd do a little bit of green on this corner. I've already stamped myself a sentiment, may your joy be as deep as the ocean, from that stamp set that you saw. But I needed to do that so that I could work out where everything else was going to be. And then we can just blend that. You see, I hardly use any ink, but doesn't that look lovely? It just gives that little bit extra. So I've got a little bit of my Sticks to PVA glue. It's quite thick, is this? Doesn't like the bottle as much as some do, but I can get enough out. I want it quite controlled. So we can pop that around here. So yeah, I really do think, so that looks lovely, but look, as soon as you put that frame on, it just looks better, doesn't it? Can you see? You don't have to, but I just want to give you the tip. If you want it, it's there. Just really enhances that. Okay, so now I need to get myself a piece of acetate, and I'm going to use this piece. No, I'll use this one. Get my acetate. Have I taken the backing off? No, I haven't. Look at that. It's still there. So it comes with backing on, just to protect it. So I'm going to take that off because I don't want to emboss it with that on, otherwise it's going to embed it into it. Oh, come on, Corrine, think it through. Move your inks out of the way and your daubers, because I don't want to get those on. So then I'm going to get my embossing folder. I'm going to put my acetate in there. My acetate, I've got a little bit of ink on already, look. Blimey. Put that in there. 2D embossing folder. So a 2D embossing folder, as we all know, you just use, if you've got a Gemini like I have, you just use your 2 outer plates. If you've got a different die cutting machine, just have a look in your manual. Like I say, it's a 2D embossing folder, so use the plate combination appropriate for that. And then we can come in. So yeah, I mean, you'll have all embossed card, paper and what have you. But look at that embossed acetate. Wow, we're taking it up another notch here, aren't we? I just absolutely, and it's not cracking. You can see there's no cracks because I've used the right plate combination. But doesn't that look amazing? Now you could be colouring this, you could be doing all sorts, but we're going to keep that plain. And I've already got one here that I put some foam tape on. So what I've done is I've gone roughly round where the circle, so that I know that that's going to keep whatever I put in the center of there, it's going to keep it in the right place. So let's take this out. You've seen how I do my my shaker elements, so I always make them separate to the card. So one piece of foam, you can do this in multiple pieces of foam if you want, but just make sure there are no gaps. There we go. There we are. Right, so that's off there. Then I'm going to get some sequins. So I thought I'd do a few, just a few multicoloured ones, just to get some nice colour in. Oh, I don't want that one on there. You can either put your sequins in and then take your backing off your foam, or as I've done, and take the backing off the foam first. It just depends how careful you are. And then I'm going to get some clear sequins. I'm going to use a few more clear sequins, I think. And I'm going to put these in. Be careful to try and get them in the centre. I don't like a skinny shaker. I know I always do it. I often overload, but I'd rather overload than underload. Right, put that on there, because remember, bits will drop down below. I haven't, you know, where I've got it, it could drop down a little bit. So then I'm going to do a little bit of glitter as well. Why not? If you're going to have a shaker, let's have a shaker worthy of a shaker. That's what I say. Now, you could have this the whole size of your piece of card, or you could just have it smaller like I've done. So I've gone smaller, so I've got another piece of cardstock. Oops. That's the same size. Press those down, and then I'm just going to, before I lift it up, I'm just going to burnish that foam tape down so that nothing falls out. Now, the reason I like doing this is because then I've got my sequins and my glitter rubbing against acetate and acetate. There you go. You can see. Oh, I've got a couple of bits. There we go. Come on. A few stuck in the middle. Just give it a good whack. There we are. Right, they're free flowing now. Now, if you need to, you can trim it down a little bit more if you wanted to. I know that's the size of my aperture. So if I felt like I needed to, I can always trim it right down quite close inside. So I'm going through both sides, both pieces of acetate there, just like that. There we go. Just to make sure I've got all the bits out. So this is my topper. I've just put a few little bits of foam on, and then I'm going to pop that onto there. And I can't see because I've got glitter everywhere. There we go. That's going to go there, and hope I've not done it where the foam's going to be visible. So what I'll do, oh, I want to go it that way. Think it through. I want the textured bit. Now I remember doing it, putting it on so that fits like that. So that the end is at the side. I didn't want it at the top. I didn't want it at the bottom. I wanted it where it was least likely to cause an issue should it come unstuck in any way. So I'm just going to put a few little bits of, what's this, red liner on. Gosh, I can't do and talk tonight. Put that on there, and then another one. Now, I don't need to make a seal on this because I've got a seal inside my shaker element. This is just literally to hold it down. So I just pushed that red liner on. So that means I can now take the backing off. Just like that. Remember which way round it went, and remember I put that to the side. So just making sure I'm not over the aperture, which I think is right about there. Turn it over. Oh yeah, no foam. Now look at that. Can you see? I have got the embossed acetate and I've got all those elements. And because my foam tape sits there instead of right at the bottom, look, those shaker elements will never drop down underneath the aperture, which I think is lovely. And I just stuck my circle on the other one. Right, I just need to cut myself another circle because I've stuck it on this one, which hasn't got any foam tape on the back. So no problem, it's insurmountable. This was a piece for one of my mats and layers, so I've just cut a little one out of there and we're ready to go again. But look, you can see the difference it makes putting that aperture around there. It looks lovely, doesn't it? Okay, so the layers I decided to do was I decided to go, now is this going to work? Oh yes, I'm going to put that onto there. So I've got the colour showing through. So this, if you haven't got anything like this paper, you could just make your own inky background, your own ombre background. It would work really, really well. I was just using what I'd got, and you know that's what I like to do. Then I'm going to do a white, and then I'm going to do that. I'll just show you the difference. If you put that one straight onto there, I think it doesn't look as professional as if you slip the white layer, and it's only a skinny white layer between those mats and layers. Doesn't that make such a difference? Really, really does. And here's my card base. So this was made from a card base that was suitable for an 8x8 inch envelope. So it was just shy of 8 inches. So I've just trimmed it down to the size I want. So let's put all of this together. So I've not finished, but we'll see where we're getting up to. So the sea blue on first. It's a bit of a pearlised card, which I really like. So it's giving a little bit of sheen. So that's going on just there. Then we're going to go in with our white. Have I got that on straight? Don't think I have I? There, that let me just give that a little bit of a tweak. Then we're going to go in with a white. I can feel which side I've cut as the top. You can feel the guillotine marks on it. So again, with my collage glue, which is my favourite, I can put that one on there and then just keep giving it a move until I'm happy that it's square and even. Just give that a little bit of a burnish for a minute. We'll go in with the burnish, my pressure tool, in a minute. And then finally the paper from Lou's Wildflower collection, which I absolutely adore. So pretty. Sometimes you just want a paper ready to go, don't you? That's why I love having papers like this, just handy and ready to go. There we go. So let me just use my pressure tool, give that a little bit of a burnish, spreads out all that glue, thins it out, make sure it's all in the right place, and just make sure I get that amazingly solid finish to my card. Okay, so once I've done that, we can then pop this on. So what I've done here, I need to just put some tape on the back of there, otherwise glue. So that's going to give me the wiggle room I need. I picked up a nearly empty bottle. Ah, there it is. It's coming out now. There we are. Just took a minute to come down. So that just allows me to manipulate it before that touches. So that will then turn over, and that will then pop perfectly on to my card. Looking lovely, isn't it? I'm loving how it's all coming together. So it just needs a focal point for the front, I think. So what I have done, and I've had so much fun putting this together from, let me find the set. Here we go. We've got the deep blue. It's Layering Sea Creatures die sets. And we're going to make this little turtle. So all I've done is I just found some... Well, first of all, the first thing I did was I got on to Google or whatever search engine you use, and I called up an image of a turtle. And I had a look, and I had a look at the colours, and I had a look at the textures, and I thought, right, I can make that. So I've cut layer 1 out of this peach, layer 2 out of a chocolate brown, and layer 3 out of the peach again. And then I went looking in my inks, and I found Pine Tree and Friar Brown. And I thought, right, I can really turtlesque this cardstock. So all I'm going to do, Pine Tree, and I'm going to come round the edge just here with this. So I've still got the peach undertones, but now we're getting the green and brown hues that I wanted. I'm going to do the same on here. So we've still got, the peach undertones, but we're getting the turtly feel. And I'm going to do exactly the same with the brown. I'm going to just go over that. So every time I go over, I'm just sort of getting rid of that peachy colour a little bit. Now, I've not actually seen any videos with Lou using this. I perhaps should have had a look at how she did it. I wanted to do it how I felt. I didn't want to be influenced, so I thought I'd do that like that. Now, if you've got a lighter brown, you can sort of add some inks on there. Now, this isn't the be-all and end-all. There is still capacity to add a bit more. Now, I'm not doing any height to these. I want these, I think they want to go flat. So I'm going to put the brown on first. And that's going to go, get this the right way round. Not that way round, that way round. Now, I've got one that what I believe is finished as well, so I'll show you that in a minute. And then I'm going to get that. Let's get my dotty tape pen. You can go over it with your glue applicator if you want. I'm just going to do this for speed. A little bit of dotty glue, and then I'm going to pop that one onto there. And then once it's on, I'm going to get my green, and I'm just going to, come on, catch that. I'm going to blend them all together. Make sure it really, so I can really come in under there and put that. Now, if you look under here, there is a little die just here, and those two do the shell when it's the other side of his neck. Then you've also got his eye as well. Now, I've got one that I've fiddled around with a little bit more, and I've finished. There we go. So you can see his shell comes around here. He's got his eye, and then if you want to, you can just make sure you add plenty of ink. The more ink you add, the more realistic. I don't want that pretty peach colour. The peach was just literally the canvas to work on, for want of a better word. And then I have my gorgeous turtle. So I'm going to pop him on there. I might do him with a little bit of 3D glue, I think, because that will just add, not a lot, just a bit. A little bit under his eye, a little bit down here. Because remember, it will move it around. So we can put that over there. You can come off the edge of your card if you want. Just remember, never come off the bottom of your card, otherwise they don't stand up. So I'm just going to press that very gently. It's coming along nicely. Now, you could go in with your sequins, but I thought I'd go in with my Dewdrop Gems. And I'm just going to, oh, did that one, where did that one go? I must have picked one up and dropped it. You probably saw it fall. I was looking at where I was going. I'm going to pop a couple on here. Sometimes I only do about 3 or so. I think I need a few more on here to give that look of water, don't I? Ah, there's the one I think I dropped. I'm going to come in amongst those. I'm going to pop a couple of smaller ones as well. I think I say it every single time. Isn't random hard? I find random so hard. 3 small, 3 large. Just like that. I think I might just need a couple of small ones just down here, as if it's rising up. Just like that. And if you wanted to, you could always just do one. Come in. Oh, that's turned over. It's up to me. One there. And one just coming up there. There we go. And that, oh, I squished him. Let me lift him up while the glue's drying. And that is my interpretation of using Lou's textures from the deep blue. But what I wanted to show you, and most important, was how you can emboss acetate because I think it looks absolutely amazing. Something a little bit different, maybe again something for the blokes, maybe something for the children. It's entirely up to you. I wanted to try and make sure I give you lots of different ways to craft. So I hope you like that. A little bit of fun, a little bit light-hearted, something a little bit different, but we're still using all the techniques that we use, the embossing, the inking through stencils, a little bit of die cutting, a little bit of stamping, yep, and as always, my mats and layers that you know I like to do. So I hope you enjoyed that. I'd love to see any videos that you, any cards or projects that you make that you are inspired to make, like using these sorts of techniques. Maybe you're going to turn this into sort of a scrapbook page, because I think that would be lovely to show holiday memories or something like that. But please do share your makes too, and please don't forget, all the details are down here. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, yeah, and keep watching those videos, and thank you for all your support now and always. Thanks ever so much, and until next time, happy crafting. Take care. Bye.